George Fox had a vision where God spoke to him. This led him to believe that anyone could interpret the will of God. This belief went against the Book of Common Prayer. George Fox decided to spread his beliefs throughout England and Wales. It was there he gathered a lot of followers. The English government viewed them as a threat to social and political order. So they instituted acts to discriminate against the Quakers. They put forth the Quaker Act of 1662, which stated that everyone in England had to follow the Book of Common Prayer. There was also the Conventional Act of 1664, which forbade religious gatherings of more than 5 people that did not worship the Book of Common Prayer. These acts were repealed with the Acts of Toleration in 1669. Quakers began to immigrate to North America as early as 1662 in search of religious toleration. The Quakers settled in Pennsylvania and Rhode Island, the only places where they could practice their religion without being discriminated against. However, soon in the 19th century, tensions began to arise. The more poor Philadelphian Quakers, known as the Hicksites, felt that the richer, more orthodox Quakers were becoming too Protestant and materialistic, due to them wanting to establish a church and follow more of the Bible than the words of God. They broke off into 2 separate sects. We have interviewed the modern-day Hicksites.
The meeting was 2 rooms. If I'm not mistaken, the women were on one side and the men were on the other. And traditionally, in a Quaker meeting, the congregation here, and you'll have what's called the facing benches that face. And some, if you are so moved, you're welcome to sit up here. And generally, these are the people like guide the meeting.
Right.
And the ones at the end of the meeting, I think that it's been long enough to conduct what's called the rise of the meeting, or shake hands, and that's the signal that meeting's over.
And so this is the Philadelphia yearly meeting, which is we're part of, and then we also belong to a quarterly group called Concord yearly monthly meeting, Concord monthly meetings, and there's a group of meetings that we get together with 4 times a year. Four. But the octagonal schoolhouse was not part of the meeting. The schoolhouse was built around 1820. And the meeting was built in the, pre-Revolutionary War, I think 1760, something like that.
Right.
But this was the first public school in the township. So, yeah, so we use this, and it's been used for meetings, it's used for all kinds of different things. And the meetings restored it, and we just went through our renovations. So this would have been the furniture that the kids sat on. And the theory with the octagonal schoolhouses was it was a really good design for a one-room schoolhouse. And so these were originally here, and these seats would have been here. These, I don't think, the benches would not have been. And yeah, so and it was owned by the township for a really long time, and then so I don't know how it happened, but it was given to the meeting.
During the Revolutionary War, Birmingham Meeting House was a strategic holding in our area. As General Washington prepared for the Battle of Brandywine, he and the Continental Army occupied the meeting house. The congregation was forced out and began meeting at a wheel-making factory not too far away. It was here that they witnessed the Battle of Brandywine firsthand. Joseph Townsend, a prominent Quaker in the congregation, wrote, "We remained on the hill for some time, and when the engagement seemed nearly to be over, or at least that part of it which was in view, and the day being far on the decline, we were about retiring. But, as admiration and curiosity had been the order of the day, I proposed to some of my companions that we should go over to the field in battle and take view of the dead and wounded, inasmuch as we might never have such another opportunity. Some of us consented, and others with reluctance yielded. As we hastened hither, and awful was the scene to behold, such a number of fellow beings lying near each other, severely injured, and some of them mortally. A few dead, but a small proportion considering the quantity of powders and balls that had been used." After the engagement, the British then had control of the meeting house, which they used as a hospital for their sick. According to Joseph Townsend, the Quakers buried the dead on both sides of the battle and cared for the wounded and sick.